Hey everyone, welcome to Drive Protected. My name is Eric. In today's episode, I'm going to go over how much you can expect to pay for a professionally installed paint protection film install on your vehicle. This is a question that I've seen talked about lots on YouTube, on forums, online, and I've even had this question asked by lots of people who are kind of floating around the idea of getting paint protection film installed on their vehicle. And I thought, you know what, this is a really good opportunity to make a short video and go over what you can expect to pay, what the consumer can expect to pay for a professionally installed PPF package. So I'm gonna start off with a small package and I'm gonna work my way up to the full vehicle wrap, and I'm gonna give you just general ballpark prices from what I've heard about. In case you guys don't know, I'm located in Southern Manitoba, Canada. I'm basically right on the North Dakota border. I live in a small city called Winkler, and we have about 14,000 people here. So our prices are going to be very, very different than if you're watching this and you live in Los Angeles, California, where you've got millions of people and prices are going to be considerably more. So keep that in mind as I go through these packages in this video, and let's get into it. All right, so one of the most common packages that we've seen requested here is just getting a front bumper done on a vehicle. So where we're from, we have lots of farming going on around here. So we've got lots of pickup trucks and SUVs. And a very common thing that we've gotten asked from consumers is just to get the front bumper done. So front bumpers, depending on the type of vehicle, whether it's a small car or whether it's a pickup truck or an SUV, you could be looking to pay anywhere between $500 to $700 for a PPF on a front bumper. Depending on the complexity and how big that bumper is and how much material is used and how long it's going to take the installer to do it, $500 to $700 is kind of the range. Again, that's my area. That may be very different. That might be much more or much less depending where you are, depending where you're from. Now, partial front end PPF package. So that's going to include paint protection film installed on the bumper, probably about 18 to 20 inches of the hood and the fenders, and the mirrors as well too, and potentially even the headlights. You can expect to pay anywhere from $1,000 all the way up to like $1,200, $1,300 in my area. Like I said, I don't know what it's going to be in larger areas, but kind of like in that range. It's a very common package because people are most concerned about protecting just the front of the vehicle, the areas that are going to take the most damage, and that's going to be the bumper and the first few inches of the hood and the fenders and that type of thing. Now next, full front end PPF package. So full front end PPF package, where we're from, sometimes customers are going to request that we also do the A-pillars and then the leading edge of the roof. For that package, the entire front end, that's bumper, headlights, fog lights, full hood, full fenders, mirrors, A-pillars, leading edge of the roof, you can expect to be paying anywhere from $1,800 all the way up to like $2,500, depending on the size of the vehicle and depending on whether they are going to add the A-pillars and the roof and that type of thing. That's a very common package because it's basically covers the most high impact areas of the vehicle, and it's a really popular package just because it's kind of a no-brainer for customers when they're going to walk in and they're going to be like, well, what's the best for me? I don't want to do a full wrap, but I don't want to do just the bumper. Full front end's probably the best package to go for in that regard. But yeah, pricing kind of in that $1,800 to $2,500 range is what you can expect to pay. Full vehicle wrap. This is where things get a little bit crazy because full vehicle wrap, there's a lot of questions to consider here. Is the paint protection film shop going to be doing a full vehicle paint correction on your vehicle before doing a full PPF install? I hope they're not, or I hope they're not charging you for it, because in most situations, PPF is actually going to cover up all the scratches and swirl marks and that type of thing. It really does act like a Band-Aid and completely covers all the majority of the imperfections in the paint. And so personally I think a paint correction is a bit excessive. unless you want to pay for a paint correction and know that you've got the peace of mind knowing that you've got perfect paint underneath the PPF, then yeah, by all means go for it. But the prices that I have here do not include a paint correction. For a paint correction, I'm going to assume places are probably going to charge another $1,000 to $2,000 to do paint correction on a whole vehicle. But for full vehicle paint protection film wrap, if they're not going to be disassembling the vehicle, if they're not going to be taking out like the headlights and like for example on a Tesla, like the side cameras and the fender flare or the black trims around the plastics, you could expect to pay anywhere from like in that $8,000 to $10,000 range if they're not disassembling anything and they're just doing pre-cut templates. If you got a large vehicle like a Cadillac Escalade, the extended wheelbase version, you could be looking at paying $10,000, $12,000, $14,000 for a full vehicle wrap, depending where you're from. On a vehicle of that size, there is a ton of material and time and labor that goes into installing that, into making sure that all the edges are down and nothing's going to lift up, and making sure that it's done properly. Kind of like what I mentioned a little bit earlier when I mentioned the full vehicle wrap for the first time, there's a lot of questions that you need to ask the installer about the disassembly. What are they taking off the vehicle to add extended edges, to wrap around, to make the vehicle have that truly almost invisible PPF install? The more things they're going to take off, the more you can expect to pay for it. And a full vehicle wrap, at least to my knowledge, is probably going to take a shop at minimum of maybe 7 to 8 days to do a wrap on. That's on a large SUV. On a small car like a Tesla, probably a few days. But yeah, I just wanted to go over what you can expect to pay for paint protection film install by professional installers. And yeah, I hope you guys found some value in this video. Hopefully this kind of clears things up as what you can expect to pay. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to drop them in the comments section down below. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.